Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, not a great series for the Baltimore Orioles, mainly because of that last game, Sunday's game, which was one of the most embarrassing games I've ever seen. I don't know how you cannot be embarrassed as a Major League ball club and you put a performance like that out there. We keep saying, or I keep saying, everybody keeps saying it's early. Well, when is that not going to be the case anymore? At some point, gotta be like, well, it's not really early anymore. Some of these starting pitchers have had 5. You're not ready to go after 5 starts? Cool. All right. So you can see them on MASSonSports.com. Let's get to game 1, Friday night's game. Cincinnati Reds 8, Baltimore Orioles 3. Yeah. Jumped out to a early lead, but then gave up 3 in the third and 4 in the fourth. Yep. Oh well. You're not gonna win too many games where your 1 through 4 hitters are going over with 1 walk. Yeah, can't have that. Rutschman had the walk. Rutschman leading off. Brandon Hyde want to try something different. I don't know. Whatever, man. Henderson 0 for 2 strikeouts. I don't think he likes to do hold too much. O'Neill 0 for 3 strikeouts. Mountcastle 0 for 2 strikeouts. Wow. Who was pitching? Was Cy Young pitching? Mullins 1 hit and an RBI. Westberg 0 for. Playing third base today, not DHing. Still dealing with an upper body thing. He's trying to fight through it. Doing okay, I guess. Sanchez got a hit. Yay! Heston Kjerstad, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Jorge Mateo 0 for 2 strikeouts. Mullins home run, and that was the only extra base hit. Mateo with throwing error. Mateo getting a little less playing time than he did last year. I feel that that the organization feels Jackson Holliday's doing a little bit better. And Ramon Arias is doing fairly well himself. So you want Jordan Westberg in there, but the odd man out is Mateo. Though it is kind of a weapon off the bench. His speed is a huge weapon off the bench. Cade Povich getting the start in this game, goes 3 in the third, gives up 6 hits, 7 runs, all earned, walks 5, strikes out 4. Whew. The Orioles need some help, and they need it now, and they're not going to get it anytime soon, it doesn't seem like. I mean, the only reinforcements that seem to be available anytime soon is Kyle Gibson Friday, maybe. Other than that, Eflin, they really don't give timelines for this, but I'm thinking 2 weeks-ish on Eflin. Because there may or may not be some rehab starts. I mean, if there's no rehab starts, maybe Eflin in a week. I don't know. Tough to say, but got to stop having outings like this. These short outings from your starting pitcher, it's hurting the bullpen and it's hurting the club in general. Scott Blewett, recently acquired Scott Blewett, pitching 2 2/3, so finishing off the 4th inning and then pitching the full 5th and 6th. Gives up 4 hits, 1 run, unearned run because Mateo's throwing her. 2 runners on, man, first and second, ball hit to right field. Mateo comes and throws this ball. I don't know why he threw it, but I want a guy to score. It's really why it was an error. whatever, man. Whatever. I mean, probably trying to force the issue there because he's not getting enough playing time. You know, doing that isn't going to help. Blewett walks 1 in his almost 3 innings of work, strikes out 4. He definitely didn't blow it this outing. The opposite of Blewett. It's just funny because if you are an Orioles fan, been paying attention to the club, you know they don't have Scott Blewett anymore. It's comical at times. Matt Bowman in for the 7th inning, pitching the full 7th inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs. Walks 1, no strikeouts. CNL Perez ends up in only 24 pitches, which is a very low number for 2 innings of work. Pitching the 8th and the 9th. No hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Only thing I can think of is when CNL Perez comes in here for the 8th, it's 8-1 Reds. They weren't even trying, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. And that's... apparently that is what CNL is now, which is disappointing. Let's get to game 2. Yay, the Orioles finally won one. All orange uniforms for this game. Well, if you don't like the all orange uniforms, I hate to tell you this, but I think they're here to stay. Because this was a City Connect night, and this was an all orange night. Which one do you think the team likes playing in? I feel like they like the all oranges. At least they seem to be performing very well. Cincinnati Reds 5, Baltimore Orioles 9. Orioles scoring runs in the first 3 innings and the last 2 innings because they didn't bat in the bottom of the 9th. Mullins leading off in this game. A hit, an RBI, 2 walks. I think he's probably a better leadoff guy than Rutschman. Henderson batting second. I said it last year that I do want Henderson batting a little lower in the order because I want people on for him. You want somebody that's going to get on base. So have a Rutschman in front of Henderson isn't that terrible of an idea because the thought process is Rutschman get on, Henderson can drive him in. The only problem with that is Rutschman's kind of slow around the bases, at least compared to Mullins, right? The only problem with Mullins and Henderson hitting back-to-back is they're both left-handed. And Brandon Hyde's mind, that can hurt you because then you bring in a lefty and it's like, oh no, I got 2 left-handed batters and a left-handed pitcher. No, it's fine. We'll see if they start getting struck out a bunch in the later innings because they're facing all these high-end left-handed relievers. Then it might be, maybe you want to break it up somehow, but put Rutschman back in there at second. Maybe he can, have a, I don't know, how is Rutschman hitting right-handed? He's okay. He's okay hitting right-handed. I don't think he's any less than his left-handed at-bats. Preferably you would have a right-handed hitter that destroys lefties, and maybe O'Neill. That's the thought process is one reason why they picked up O'Neill. Oh, he crushes lefties. Well, like Mullins, O'Neill, Henderson would be an ideal lineup. We'll see if that happens. Just to protect Mullins and Henderson from teams that want to put in lefties and face them. Rutschman hitting in the 3-hole. Ofer with a walk. O'Hearn hitting an RBI. O'Neill hitting an RBI, also walked once. Kerstad. It says Ofer, but early in his first at bat, he gets drilled on the right elbow. Now, luckily, He has one of those fancy guards on his right elbow. Well, I guess it's not fancy. It's not Barry Bonds armor type elbow guard, but it is an elbow guard. It nailed him right in the elbow guard. So, as far as is he going to need IL time, it's a little too early to tell. We're thinking no, but who knows really. It's very disappointing because he was kind of hot. Though at the same time, Ramon Laureano coming in here and it's 2 home runs. So Laureano, 2 hits and 3 RBIs off the bench to replace Kjerstad. Westberg hit an RBI. Westberg hitting down in the lineup and DHing. Yeah, they don't really want to lose his bat. I mean, you can apparently he can still hit. He has some kind of upper body ailment that they're not really given much detail on what exactly it is. So they are trying to not play him, at least in the field, as much. Holiday did get a hit. He also walked once. Arias, 2 hits. So you can see that. I mean, you can see, even Holiday. I mean, a hit, 3 at-bats, but 4 plate appearances, a hit and a walk, that's a step in the right direction. That's maybe a few steps in the right direction for Jackson Holiday. It's kind of leading to Mateo not being a starter. Excuse me. Yeah, Arias here, but with a double. Henderson also with a double. Laureano 2 home runs. Mullins, Henderson, Westberg with home runs as well. Yeah. They definitely like hitting in the orange jersey. All orange. I think the last time they wore it last Saturday, the Saturday before last, Mullins also home run then too. Cano with a throwing error. It was an ill-advised throw, but it didn't cost anything. He should have put it in his pocket for the only thing is that it was hit, let's say, to the third base side of the mound. Cano tries to grab it, spin, and fire to first. He did kind of fall awkwardly a little bit. I would say he shouldn't have done anything with it because I feel like sometimes when you want to turn and throw and fall awkwardly like that as a pitcher, you can hurt your lower half. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it is a risk. And what was the reward? He wouldn't have gotten the guy anyway, even if he made a good throw. So, Brandon Young getting the start in this game. The need for a 5th starter finally came around. And sadly, Mr. Blewett, he was the one that was sent away. DFA out of options. Why Blewett was the choice, I don't know. Instead of, Perez. Somebody else. Because Blewett looked to be pretty good. Though at the same time, he got DFA'd by somebody else. So, we'll see how the season goes. We'll pay attention to Scott Blewett and what he does for the rest of the year. Maybe it'd be the Orioles that blew it. Brandon Young, his first major league debut. He didn't look too bad. He looked fine. He didn't look great, but we'll see his second or his third start pass a little bit more judgment. Going 4 full innings, though he did come out for the 5th. In true Brandon Hyde fashion. Come out for the 5th. You let your young starter go out there for the 5th. He was only like 80-something pitches. Or actually, at that point, he wasn't even at 80 pitches. He walks his first batter, and then he's up to 83 pitches. Right? 81 pitches, I'm sorry. 81 pitches. And Brandon Hyde comes and takes him out. It must be Brandon Hyde's SOP when you have a young starter like this. You send him out there for the 5th inning, and when the first guy gets on, yank him. He does it a lot. He doesn't do it that much more. He doesn't do it as often now with guys like Wells and Bradish when they were pitching, Rodriguez when they were healthy, Povich and Sagano and all these guys, because they are more established. I guess he knows them better. He doesn't send them out there for the 5th inning to just yank them. That tendency does rear its ugly head, which I hate. Look, you've been having problems getting length out of your starters. Here you have a starter, 81 pitches. All he did was walk a guy. Come on, man. Give him a chance. Give the guy a chance. Your relief pitchers are not going to do any better. Oh, Brian Baker's really good now, and Cano's really good. Yeah, but coming in with a man on already, it's not always going to go that way, because whatever reason, some pitchers in general like cleaner innings. It's more pressure when you bring in a reliever and there's a man on already. It's more pressure on them. They're not always going to come through for you. So you might as well leave Brandon Young out there and at least try to get another out or two to not tax your bullpen as much. You don't know. He could get the next guy to roll over. Who was up? Where are they at in the lineup? That could always... Let's go, Internet. Oh, something went wrong? Oh, really? Well, obviously. Where exactly they were in the Reds' order. Let's go. No data available. I hate computers. I hate them. What is it? Suck. Try again. Thank you. Let's see. TJ Friedel. Matt Cain was next up. Ellie De La Cruz in the hole. Alright, or on deck. Yeah, I mean, they were at the top of the order. Right? Because here you go. So, third time through or whatever. You certainly understand you didn't want him to face Ellie De La Cruz. But I feel... could have gone after McClain. McClain had an offer. Whatever. Brian Baker in relief of Brandon Young. Taking over in the 5th inning. He does finish the 5th inning. Oh, wait. I wanted to... shit. What ended up happening? So Brandon Young walks this guy man on first. Then McClain, he does strike out a foul tip. There was a steal at that point, but then Cruz walk in, and then he got a fly out. So Baker ends up walking to the bases, and the inning ends with the bases loaded. You got out of it, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, Baker hasn't performed kind of like that all year. Coming on already with, your young guy, his major league debut. He walked a guy and he yanked him. How much pressure are you putting on Brian Baker? You should have either just thrown Brian Baker out there to start the 5th inning or let Brandon Young try to get the next guy out. I don't understand why you do that. I feel like there is, what's the word? Some kind of regression there because, hey, my manager has confidence in me. He's letting me go out there and start the 5th inning. Oh, I walked a guy. Oh, no. Oh, you're taking me out, coach? Now you don't like me. The up and down there. Your manager has confidence in you. Then he has no confidence in you. Is that good for a pitcher's progression? I would have to say no. Baker's final line, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Keegan Aiken on for the 6th inning. It's pretty bad here where, yeah, all right, Brandon Young could only give you 4 innings. Got to cover 5 innings with your bullpen, and you use 7 pitchers. Picking the wrong dudes, I guess. You bring Keegan Aiken on to start the 6th inning. He does get 1 out, but gives up 2 hits, 1 run, walks 1, no strikeouts. Not great. Sir Anthony Dominguez on to close out the 6th inning. He does so. Nice performance by him. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, strikes out 1. Dominguez also does go a full... Does get 3 outs, so he starts the 7th inning and then yields or gives way to Gregory Soto, getting the final 2 outs in the 7th inning. He walks 2, which isn't great, but no hits, no runs, no strikeouts. You got out of it. Yanier Cano in for the 8th inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, gets 1 strikeout. I feel like they gave him a hit on this. Maybe ends up allowing 2 batters face. Cano 4. Yeah, so they give the guy a hit, but they also give Cano an error on this. So he only faced 4 batters. And now, so what's the score at this point? It's 9-4 because the Orioles got 2 in the 8th. Like, of course they got 2 in the 8th. If they don't get the 2 in the 8th, you just bring in Felix Bautista. But of course, because it's 9-4, Brandon Hyde's like, no, I'm going to stay away from Felix Bautista. That's why he never pitches. So you bring in Matt Bowman. Yeah, genius. Matt Bowman does not record an out. He gives up 2 hits, a run, and a walk. Yeah. Here comes Felix Bautista anyway. Hey, you're trying to get him into save situations. If the offense won't cooperate, either by getting too many tackle-on runs or not getting any runs at all, well, then you got to throw a pitcher out there to give up a bunch of runs to your opponent. And then 2 men on. So, yes, there is a 4-run difference there. But Bowman already allows 1 across, and there's 2 runners on. So, Bautista coming in, yeah, again, 4-run difference, but there's 2 runners on. So, save situation. Bautista gets all the outs in the 9th inning. Like, okay. All right. However, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Feel like he'd probably be a little further along in his comeback, we'll call it that, if he would pitch a little more often. But he's not. Cool. Let's get to one of the most embarrassing games I've ever watched. Cincinnati Reds 24, yes, 24. Baltimore Orioles 2. Yeah. Yeah, you would have thought, oh, well, Brandon Young started this game, right? No. This was the most seasoned veteran pitcher the Orioles have on their roster. And their highest paid one. Or at least I think so. They pay, actually, I guess Eflin is more as a 16, 17 million guy. The second most they're paying a starting pitcher. Yeah, it was a great acquisition. Mullins with 1 hit, struck out twice. Oh, by the way, this was like a bullpen game for the Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, wonderful, right? Gunnar Henderson, over. Adley Rutschman, 3-hole again. 2 hits and an RBI. Well, kind of liking the 3-hole, I guess. Ryno Hearn, over. Ryan Mountcastle, 1 hit. Yep, O'Hearn in right field, because Westberg's DH. and Kerstad hit on the elbow. And O'Neill, still some lingering effect from the neck, I'm sure. They just didn't want to use him that much. So Hearn was hitting well. Well, he did in this game. Westberg, 2 hits. Jackson Holiday, excuse me, 0 for 2, but he walked twice, which is nice. Arias, 0 for. Ramon Laureano, 1 hit. Westberg, Mountcastle with doubles. Westberg actually had 2 doubles. Rutschman with a home run late in the game. It was, here in the 8th. Charlie Morton actually had a throwing error. But really didn't factor into the numbers here. Holy shit, these numbers are high. Charlie Morton, his 5th start. It is his 5th start, right? Yeah, 5 starts. I know he has 5 decisions and 5 losses. I can't remember if there was another start where he just got no decisions. I don't think so. 2 1/3. Throws 68 pitches. Considering how the rest of these losers did, you might as well kept Charlie Morton out there, but whatever. Because your Poteet guy that you bring up is like, oh yeah, Poteet's gonna do good, and he doesn't do good either. Can we DFA Poteet and get Blewett back? No, you already let Blewett go. Cool. Charlie Morton, 2 1/3, 7 hits, 7 runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Wow. I mean, it's definitely a regression, because I feel like earlier in the year, he was getting up similar lines on his hits and his runs, but he struck out 10 in one game that he only went 4 innings. How that makes any sense. So, I guess, I don't know what's going on with this guy. Jim Palmer mentioned something on the broadcast that Charlie Morton was messing around with the grips on some of his pitches. It doesn't appear to be working. He messed around with these grips to start the year. It doesn't appear to be working at all. So, I think you gotta go back to the old grips. Mr. Poteet here, didn't fare too much better, pitching 2 2/3. 6 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. Cionel Perez for 2 innings. Here gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And then Jay Mateo. Yes, that is Jorge Mateo. Actually started off his outing pretty good. Then it kind of just went to, Who hit the grand slam off of it? Mateo and Sanchez both gave up home runs. This Marte dude got 7 RBI. Austin Wynns got 6 RBI. This is what I'm talking about. It's about the bottom of the lineup. You cannot handle the bottom of the lineup anymore. I don't know what happened. You're putting less effort into the bottom of the lineup, I guess. The last 2, the 8 and the 9 hole hitters for the Cincinnati Reds combined for 13 RBIs yesterday. 13. It's their 8 or 9 guys. It's Austin Wynns is their backup catcher. He had 6 hits in this game. He didn't have. Kevin Brown mentioned this on a broadcast. Austin Wynns' best 2 games as an Oriole only amounted to 6 hits. Combined. Got 6 in this game here. How is that possible? It's possible because you're not giving enough shits about the 8 and 9 hole hitters. Maybe if you gave more shits about these end of the lineup guys, you could get them out. There's a thought. Damn morons. Jorge Mateo, 1 full inning pitched. Gives up 5 hits, 5 runs, walks 2. Actually hit a batter. No strikeouts. Gary Sanchez, pitching the 9th inning, did a little bit better than Mateo. He only gave up 2 hits, but he gave up 4 runs. And he only walked 1. No strikeouts. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Because usually when you put in position players, and yeah, okay, you had to cover 2 innings, usually they don't give up 9 runs combined. It's terrible. It's like Brandon Hyde saw who was on his bench, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll use them to pitch. It didn't work out too well for you. It really didn't. Really didn't. Bad decisions all around. All around. All around. Bad decisions all around. Could I get to one here in a minute? Let's get to some of these articles. That's not what I wanted. I wanted it to be up here. This article written here by Rock Kubatko. Actually, they're all written by him. Giving updates on some injuries, like, say, Grayson Rodriguez. No, it's going to be, well, I guess it is kind of an update, but at the same time, it's not an update. The update is shoulder issue. They're waiting on for MRIs and second opinions to, give any further assessment on what Grayson Rodriguez is doing. Kyle Gibson, they moved him around. He wasn't I want to say Norfolk or something, but there was bad weather somewhere, so they moved him to Aberdeen so he could actually pitch. It sounds like he's pitching fine. No pain. He's getting out before giving up a butt ton of runs. But for one reason or another, they're a little hesitant to pull the trigger and bring him up. There was mention that this is more of an injury thing, and he's rehabbing, but it's not something I was aware of earlier. I thought it was more he just wasn't ready to go because he didn't have a spring training, because he wasn't with a team. But sure, if you want to call it injury, I don't care. Call it whatever you want. But the good news is he will come up soon, within the next week or so, because his contract just isn't going to allow for this prolonged stay in the minor league. He'll have, at most, one more start in the minor league. If not, he'll start, Rock mentions, Friday in Detroit. I kind of hope that's what it is, because I feel like this team just needs something. And everything that we've heard about Kyle Gibson and how he was when he was here a few years ago, everybody loved him in the clubhouse. Yeah, you're kind of replacing his veteran presence that he brought with Charlie Morton, but people really liked Kyle Gibson, and a lot of the guys that liked him are still here. So I feel like it's not only a fresh arm reinforcement, but if everybody liked the guy, wouldn't it be a morale boost in the clubhouse? I feel like the team and the organization could benefit from that as well. Also in this article talking about Heston Kjerstad, they've just wrapped his arm. It looks like right now he's going to avoid the IL, probably because he had the guard on, right? It hit the guard, so it didn't really hit a bone and break a bone, because the test came back negative for that. So it's sounding like it's just bruised. And whenever the swelling goes down, he'll probably be back in there. And he should, at least, it's looking like Kjerstad's not going to go in the IL. Should only miss a game or 2, hopefully. Or 3. What game was it? I don't remember what game it was. This other article here, also written by Rock Kubatko, talking about, was it just Wells and Bradish, or was there something else in here? I can't remember. There's so many stupid injuries. You can't remember them all. Was Eflin in this article or the last one? I don't remember. Eflin's throwing and things are going okay with him. Wells and Bradish, they're continuing their regiment. doesn't appear that Wells and Bradish or, their timeline is still late in the summer. So, late July, early August, which just doesn't sound good enough. I mean, are they going to have enough time to get ready to go, get used to playing a Major League Baseball game to be any use in September or October? Hopefully, because the way these idiots are playing, they're not going to make it to October. Who's that dickhead pitcher that started, relief pitcher that ended up being injury because apparently their stupid physicals don't work right? I don't know, maybe it was the other article. Kittredge, he's doing his throwing regimen too. So far, the only one that's had a setback so far is really Grayson Rodriguez. I guess technically Suarez, but to a certain extent, it wasn't necessarily a setback, as in he was rehabbing and he had a setback like Rodriguez is, but kind of a subscapular something in the shoulder, 60-day IL thing. Here is the article, Rockabacco talking about Mr. Blewett, the Orioles blowing it, sending Blewett away because they had to make room for Brandon Young. So who else are you going to send away? Apparently nobody has options. Cano has options. Felix Bautista has options. To a certain extent, you're not pitching Felix Bautista anyway. He's getting what? 1, maybe 2 innings a week. Bautista should have been the one you sent away. Because now you lost Blewett. You lost him. You traded him. He went on a waiver claim, and the Braves wanted to get in there before everybody else, so they worked out a deal for cash considerations. We got cash. Just don't blow it. Ha! All right, let's get the hell out of here. Oh, and then Brandon Young sent back down to make room for Poteet. All right. Whew. Today, Monday, off day, traveling to D.C. Very long, very far to travel for a road game. Going to play the Washington Nationals for a 3-game set. All 3 games, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, scheduled for 6:45. Cool. And then Friday, so no off day in between the Nationals and Tigers series. Friday, they're going to be in Detroit. Hoping we'll see Kyle Gibson then. So that's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for Friday, and I will talk about the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Washington Nationals. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.